Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Renuka RS with the evening news. The headlines. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces fiscally prudent proposals to the tune of 73,000 crore rupees to boost demand. Also announces LTC cash voucher scheme and festival advance for government staff. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 44 bridges to the nation located in 7 states and union territories including Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 86.36%. 7 Indian nationals abducted at Ashwarif in Libya on the 14th of last month released. American economists Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson jointly win this year's Nobel Prize in Economics. And in IPL, match between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Kolkata Knight Riders is underway in Sharjah. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced major schemes to boost demand in the country by nearly 73,000 crore rupees. Addressing a media briefing in the national capital today, the minister laid out the details of the fiscally prudent proposals to stimulate demand in the economy. Ms. Sitharaman informed that the new proposals aim at giving a thrust of around 36,000 crore rupees to the consumer demands by the Leave Travel Concession LTC voucher and Festival Advance scheme. She said an additional 37,000 crore rupees will be infused in the capital expenditure by the centre and the state governments. Briefing about the schemes, the minister informed that in lieu of the LTC for the 2018 to 21 block term, payments will be made to the government employees for their 10-day leave encashment and eligible travel fare. She informed the employees opting for the scheme will have to submit GST invoices for purchase of goods or services amounting to 3 times the value of travel fare in addition to the value of LTC encashment amount.
The amount which is given to them as per government rules, their rank, their position, is now brought to 3 different slabs. And they are flat rate slabs, which is equivalent to the travel ticket, the round ticket that they would get. And that, which will continue to be tax-free, will have to be spent on items which have 12% or more GST tax levied on them.
The finance minister informed that the new proposal is likely to cost nearly 5,675 crore rupees to the central government. She said if the proposals are uniformly implemented by the state governments, an overall additional consumer demand to the tune of 28,000 crore rupees will be generated. Under the special festival advance scheme, Ms. Sitharaman said interest-free advance of 10,000 rupees will be made available to all government employees.
When the 7th Pay Commission came in, there was no special festival advance. We are now reviving it as a one-time affair. We are giving 10,000 rupees for all central government employees, irrespective of their position, rank, gazetted, non-gazetted, and this shall be repaid in 10 installments. This will be given as a prepaid Rupee card. It's an interest-free advance.
The minister said considering 50% states also adopt the scheme, it is likely to infuse nearly 8,000 crore rupees in the demand sector. In her announcement towards special assistance for states for utilization under capital expenditure, the finance minister informed that special interest-free loans with a 50-year repayment term and amounting to 12,000 crore rupees will be disbursed. Under the assistance scheme, 2,500 crore rupees will be given to the northeastern states and the northern states of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. 7,500 crore rupees will be given to other states in proportion to their share in the Finance Commission devolution. The minister also announced that an additional amount of 25,000 crore rupees will be provided by the centre through capital expenditure on roads, defence infrastructure, water supply, urban development and domestically produced capital equipment.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh inaugurated 44 bridges built by Border Road Organisation BRO and laid the foundation stone of Nichipu Tunnel in Arunachal Pradesh today. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Singh said the 44 bridges, which are located in 7 states and union territories, will usher in a new era of connectivity and development, especially in the far-flung areas of the country. Hailing the hard work of the officials of the BRO, the minister said these bridges will prove immensely beneficial in terms of military and civil transport in the western, northern and northeastern areas of the country.
इनके निर्माण से हमारी पश्चिमी, उत्तरी और साथ ही साथ नॉर्थ ईस्ट के दूर दराज के इलाकों में मिलिट्री और सिविल ट्रांसपोर्ट में निश्चित रूप से बड़ी सुविधा मिलेगी। हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस के जवान बड़ी संख्या में ऐसे इलाकों में तैनात होते हैं जहां पूरे साल ट्रांसपोर्ट की सुविधा उपलब्ध नहीं हो पाती है। शिक्षा हो या स्वास्थ्य, व्यापार हो या खाद्य आपूर्ति, आर्म्ड फोर्सेस की सामरिक आवश्यकता हो या अन्य विकास के काम, इन्हें पूरा करने में ऐसे पुलों और सड़कों की समान और एक अहम भूमिका होती है।
These new bridges are located in Ladakh, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Punjab and Jammu and Kashmir. 8 bridges in Ladakh that were built at a cost of 45 crore are on 4 strategically important roads close to line of control on west and line of actual control on east in Ladakh region.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today released a commemorative 100 rupee coin in honour of Vijayaraje Scindia. One of the founder members of the BJP, Vijayaraje Scindia, is also popularly known as the Rajmata of Gwalior. Paying tribute to the leader, Mr. Modi said the life and work of Rajmata Scindia was always connected to the aspirations of the poor and her life was all about Jan Seva. He said she was one of the personalities who gave direction to India in the last century and witnessed every important phase of Indian politics. Enumerating series of progressive reforms and developments in the country, Mr. Modi said Rajmata Scindia would have been happy to see these positive changes.
राजमाता जी के आशीर्वाद से देश आज विकास के पथ पर आगे बढ़ रहा है। गांव, गरीब, दलित, पीड़ित, शोषित, वंचित महिलाएं आज देश की पहली प्राथमिकता में है। देश की एकता, अखंडता के लिए कश्मीर, भारत की एकता का सपना के लिए उन्होंने जो संघर्ष किया, जो प्रयास किया, उसका परिणाम आज हम देख रहे हैं। आर्टिकल 370 खत्म करके देश ने उनका बहुत बड़ा सपना पूरा किया। और ये भी कितना अद्भुत संयोग है कि राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर निर्माण के लिए उन्होंने जो संघर्ष किया था, उनकी जन्म शताब्दी के साल में ही उनका ये सपना भी पूरा हुआ है।
The Prime Minister said Rajmata Scindia dedicated her life for the future of the nation and renounced all her happiness for the future generations of the country.
राष्ट्र के भविष्य के लिए राजमाता ने अपना वर्तमान समर्पित कर दिया था। देश की भावी पीढ़ी के लिए उन्होंने अपना हर सुख त्याग दिया था। राजमाता ने पद और प्रतिष्ठा के लिए न जीवन जिया, न कभी वो राजनीति का रास्ता चुना। एक बार खुद अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी और लाल कृष्ण आडवाणी जी ने उनसे बहुत आग्रह किया था कि वो जनसंघ की अध्यक्ष बन जाए, लेकिन उन्होंने एक कार्यकर्ता के रूप में ही जनसंघ की सेवा करना स्वीकार किया।
The program was attended by Union Culture Minister Prahlad Singh Patel and close relatives of Rajmata Scindia's family.
The government today said that the country's recovery rate among the COVID-19 patients has reached to 86.36%. During the last 24 hours, more than 71,000 COVID patients have been recovered. The Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has reached over 61,49,000. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 8,61,000. In the last 24 hours, 66,732 new cases have been reported, taking the total number of positive cases in the country so far to over 71 lakh. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.53%, which is one of the lowest globally. 816 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the toll to 1,09,150. According to the ICMR, during the last 24 hours, more than 9,94,000 tests have been conducted. The total sample tested for so far has reached to over 8,78 lakh. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today tested negative for COVID-19. He has been under home quarantine after he was diagnosed with COVID-19 on 29th of September. As per today's RT-PCR test conducted by a medical team from AIIMS, both the Vice President and his wife Usha Naidu have tested negative for COVID-19.
In Maharashtra, the State Health Department's latest data shows that there has been a steady decline in COVID-19 cases. It said cities like Pune, Nashik and Nagpur, which were contributing more number of cases to the state's tally, are now witnessing reduction in rate of infection. In Mumbai, the situation is yet to come under control, but a review of numbers shows that the scenario is slightly improving in the metropolis. More in this report.
The analysis of the data of patients in the last 4 weeks shows that the number of newly infected COVID-19 patients in Maharashtra are decreasing every week. In the second week of September, 1,53,331 new patients were found, while the number in the first week of October was 92,246. This means that the number of patients have decreased by about 40%. Between September 10 and October 10, the recovery rate has improved from 70.72% to 82.76%. Also, last 4 weeks have seen a slight decline in laboratory tests. Nivedita, AIR News, Mumbai.
Meghalaya today registered 88 new COVID-19 cases, taking the total active cases to 2,434, while 131 recoveries were reported, bringing the number of recovered cases to 5,273. A statement from the Directorate of Health Services informed that the new cases were reported from East Khasi Hills 50, West Jayantia Hills 26, West Garo Hills 10, Rupee and East Jayantia Hills 1 each. The new 131 recoveries were from East Khasi Hills 86, Southwest Garo Hills 11, Southwest Khasi Hills 11, Rupee and 7, North Garo Hills 6, East Jayantia Hills 5, West Garo Hills 4 and West Jayantia Hills 1. Talking to AIR News, Associate Professor in the Department of Medicine, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, Dr. Neeraj Nishchal has appealed to people to share happiness and not coronavirus this festival season.
Festive season is round the corner. We all want to celebrate this festive season with fervor in spite of this COVID-19 pandemic. We can spread happiness and love in this festive season without spreading COVID-19. If you are sick, please keep yourself confined to your houses. Do not move around in the community and get yourself tested. We have to unite to fight COVID-19.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces fiscally prudent proposals to the tune of 73,000 crore rupees to boost demand, also announces LTC cash voucher scheme and festival advance for government staff. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 44 bridges to the nation located in 7 states and union territories, including Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 86.36%. 7 Indian nationals abducted at Ash Sharif in Libya on 14th of last month released. American economists Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson jointly win this year's Nobel Prize in Economics. And an IPL match between Royal Challengers Bangalore and Kolkata Knight Riders is underway in Sharjah. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
3 steps to stay protected and stay safe from COVID-19. Wear face mask, 2 gaz ki duri to maintain social distancing, maintain hand and face hygiene.
The 7 Indian nationals who had been abducted at Ash Sharif in Libya on the 14th of September have been released. Ministry of External Affairs in a statement said Indian Ambassador to Tunisia, Puneet Roy Kundal, spoke to them over phone after they were handed over by the abductors to the company Al Shola Al Mudia. All of the personnel released yesterday are in good health and are currently staying in the company's premises in Brega. The ministry said it is trying to complete the requisite formalities to enable their return to India. The ministry also conveyed its sincere thanks to the Libyan authorities and the tribal elders from the region for their steadfast cooperation in securing the release of Indian nationals unharmed. 2 American economists, Paul R. Milgrom and Robert B. Wilson, jointly won this year's Nobel Prize in Economics. Both economists are based at Stanford University in California. The announcement was made in Stockholm today. Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson were chosen for the Nobel Prize in Economics for improvements to auction theory and inventions of new auction formats. The Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences said the new auction formats are a beautiful example of how basic research can subsequently generate inventions that benefit society. The unusual feature of this example is that the same people developed the theory and the practical applications.
In Bihar, a total of 1,065 candidates are now left in the fray for the first phase of assembly elections in 71 constituencies after the last date of withdrawal of candidature today. Out of the total 1,091 candidates with valid nominations in this phase, 26 candidates withdrew their candidature. Maximum number of withdrawals took place in Paliganj and Gobindpur assembly constituencies, where 3 candidates each withdrew their names. In this phase, 71 assembly seats spread over 16 districts will go to the poll on 28th of this month. More from our correspondent.
With 27 nominees in the fray, the Gaya town constituency has the highest number of candidates, while Katoria assembly constituency in Banka district has the lowest number of candidates. In this reserved constituency for scheduled tribes, only 5 candidates are in the fray. Former Chief Minister Jitan Ram Manjhi, former Speaker of State Assembly Uday Narayan Chaudhary, international shooter Shreyasi Singh are prominent candidates of this phase. Political fortunes of 7 state cabinet ministers Prem Kumar, Ram Narayan Mandal, Krishnandan Verma, Jay Kumar Singh, Santosh Nirala, Vijay Kumar Sinha and Brij Kishore Bin will be decided in this phase. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
In the first phase, BJP is contesting on 29 seats, JDU from 35 and Hindustani Awam Morcha HAM on 6 seats. The Vikashsheel Insan Party VIP has fielded 1 candidate from Berhampur Assembly constituency. On the other hand, among the Grand Alliance parties, RJD is contesting on 42 seats, while Congress has fielded candidates on 21 seats. The CPI-ML has 8 candidates in the fray. The process of filing of nominations is going on for the second phase of elections in 94 assembly segments. So far, 53 candidates have filed their nominations in this phase. The notification for the third phase of polls scheduled in 78 assembly constituencies will be issued tomorrow. With this, the process of nominations will be also started. In Madhya Pradesh, the Election Commission has given instructions to strictly implement all measures to prevent the epidemic, including social distancing, at polling stations in view of coronavirus infection. By-elections are being held in 28 assembly seats in MP. The process of submitting nomination papers has been expedited in all seats. All these seats are to be voted on 3rd of November. More from a correspondent.
Every voter will be given gloves to cast vote from EVM so that voters can vote without worrying their safety. Apart from this, other facilities including hand sanitizer and outside seating arrangements with proper distancing will also be available. A distance of 6 feet shall be taken into account in the seating arrangement of polling personnel and polling agents. Similarly, polling agents and voters will be given entry only after measuring the temperature at the polling station. Meanwhile, more than 20 candidates of various parties have submitted nomination papers today. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Leh district of Ladakh Union Territory, electioneering for the upcoming LAHDC General Council elections has gained momentum with 10 days left to go for the polls. The prestigious election in Ladakh to elect the 26 members of the General Council will be held on the 22nd of this month. Our correspondent reports that all the contesting political parties and candidates are leaving no stone unturned to woo voters in their favour. More in this report.
The ruling party BJP is engaging Union Minister to campaign in the favour of contesting candidate. Union Sport Minister Kiran Rijiju addressed several public meetings in and around Leh today. Speaking at Chushot Block, Mr. Kiran Rijiju said Prime Minister Narendra Modi-led Union government is considering the issues of people of border areas as priority and concern are being made through infrastructure development.
अमित शाह जी ने बहुत ही साफ
शब्दों में कहा है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी का सरकार का मंशा बिल्कुल क्लियर है। जो हमारे बॉर्डर एरिया में रहने वाले भाइयों और बहनों, आपके लिए जो कुछ भारत के संविधान में लद्दाख के लोगों का जो प्रोटेक्शन के लिए, आपका कल्चरल प्रिजर्वेशन के लिए, आपका आइडेंटिटी के लिए, आपका जॉब रिजर्वेशन के लिए सारा प्रोविजन केंद्र सरकार तय करेंगे।
LHDC lay election is crucial in the newly established Union Territory. It is being held in the backdrop of raising concern about constitutional safeguards for protection of tribal people and more empowerment of LHDC. Yangchen Dolma for Air News from Leh Ladakh.
In Gujarat, political activities have started gaining momentum for by-elections of 8 assembly seats. Polling is scheduled on the 3rd of November, while counting of votes will take place on the 10th of November. More from our correspondent.
The political activities in Gujarat have gathered momentum following announcement of candidates by the main political parties. Ruling BJP has declared its 7 candidates out of total 8 seats. Similarly, the opposition Congress has also announced its 5 candidates today. Thus, the rival candidates on Abdasa, Morbi, Dhari, Karjan and Gadda SC seats become almost clear. BJP candidate for Limbdi seat and Congress candidates for Limbdi, Dang ST and Kaprada ST seats are still awaited. Last day of filing of nominations is 16th October, while the final picture of contesting candidates will become clear on 19th October after the last date of withdrawal of nominations. Yogesh Pandya, Air News, Ahmedabad.
Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has executed a cabinet reshuffle today. The order approved by the governor shows that the additional charge of the Health and Family Welfare Department has been given to Medical Education Minister Dr. K. Sudhakar. The portfolio of Health and Family Welfare was held by B. Sri Ramalu earlier, who is now given the Social Welfare Department. The Deputy Chief Minister Govinda Karjol, who held the Social Welfare Department earlier, has now been given the Public Works Department. This is All India Radio giving you the news.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
The Union government has said that a total of about 32 crore man-days of employment has been provided and 31,577 crore rupees spent so far under the Garib Kalyan Rojgar Abhiyan. Ministry of Rural Development in a statement said that a large number of structures have been created, including more than 1,32,000 water conservation structures, 4,12,000 rural houses, 35,529 cattle shed, 25,689 farm ponds, and over 16,000 community sanitary complex. The ministry said 7,340 works have been taken up through district mineral funds and 2,123 gram panchayats have been provided internet connectivity during the Abhiyan. Besides, a total of 2,595 works related to solid and liquid waste management undertaken and 62,824 candidates have been provided skill training through Krishi Vigyan Kendras during the Abhiyan. The Garib Kalyan Rojgar Abhiyan was launched to boost employment and livelihood opportunities for migrant workers returning to villages and similarly affected citizens in rural area in the wake of COVID-19 outbreak. The Supreme Court today sought response from the centre on a batch of petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the newly enacted tree farm laws. A bench headed by Chief Justice S.A. Bobde issued notice to the central government and sought its reply within 4 weeks. The three laws, Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement of Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020, Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020 and the Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020 took effect from 27th of last month after President Ramnath Kovind's assent.
In a major announcement for teaching jobs aspirants in Uttar Pradesh, over 31,000 candidates are all set to get recruited for vacant posts of assistant teachers. As per the notification issued by the state government, the recruitment of assistant teachers will be carried out this week. A report from our correspondent.
In the first phase of recruitment, a total of 31,277 vacancies will be filled this week, keeping all the earlier allotted districts and reservations same. List of the eligible candidates have been uploaded on the website of the Basic Shiksha Parishad Prayagraj, which is www.upbasiceduboard.gov.in. Counselling in the districts will be conducted on 14th and 15th October, and the appointment letters to the successful candidates will be issued on 16th October. Government said that it has taken permission from Election Commission regarding this recruitment since Model Code of Conduct is in force due to by-elections. The test was held for 69,000 vacancies, but only 31,277 posts would be filled as per the Supreme Court's order, which said that all seats except those posts of assistant teachers held by Shiksha Mitra can be filled. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Arunachal Pradesh is poised to feature on the country's aviation map with a greenfield airport at Holongi, 15 kilometers from Itanagar. With an estimated cost of 650 crore rupees, the project includes the development work, construction of airport pavements, airside work, terminal building and city-side works. The new domestic airport, with an area of 4,100 square meters, the Holongi Airport, will be able to handle 200 passengers during peak hours. Equipped with 8 check-in counters, the terminal building will have all modern passenger facilities. The terminal will be an energy-efficient building provisioned with rainwater harvesting system and sustainable landscape.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan Army troops initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing with small arms and heavy mortar shelling along the line of control in Khari-Karmara sector of District Poonch in the afternoon today. PRO Defence Colonel Davinder Anand said that Pak troops initiated unprovoked and indiscriminate firing with small arms and thereafter heavy mortar shelling along the LOC and Khari-Karmara sector in the afternoon today at about 14:45 hours. More details are awaited. Bangladesh Cabinet today approved a draft law to include death penalty as the highest punishment for rape. The decision to amend the Prevention of Women and Children Repression Act 2000 was announced after the Cabinet meeting chaired by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in Dhaka. Minister of Law, Justice and Parliamentary Affairs Anisul Haq told the media that the ordinance will be issued after getting approval of the President as Parliament is not in session. Currently, the highest punishment for rape is life imprisonment.
In Indian Premier League cricket, Royal Challengers Bangalore were 129 for 2 in 16 overs against Kolkata Knight Riders in Sharjah when reports last came in. Earlier, Royal Challengers Bangalore won the toss and elected to bat first. Mumbai Indians beat Delhi Capitals by 5 wickets in Abu Dhabi last night. In another fixture, Rajasthan Royals beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 5 wickets in Dubai. Tomorrow, Sunrisers Hyderabad will meet Chennai Super Kings in Dubai. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a mainly clear sky. It will have a minimum temperature of 20 degrees Celsius, maximum of around 35 degrees. In Mumbai, there will be generally cloudy sky with light rain. The minimum temperature will be 26 degrees, maximum will be around 32. Chennai will experience generally cloudy sky with light rain. Temperature will hover between 25 and 33 degrees. Kolkata will witness partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature in the metropolis will be 28 degrees, maximum around 35. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, minimum temperature will be 18 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while maximum will be around 34. The city will have a mainly clear sky. Srinagar and Ladakh will also have a mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature in Srinagar will hover between 5 and 25 degrees. In Ladakh, minimum temperature will be -1 degree Celsius. Maximum will be around 20 degrees. Gilgit will experience mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 9 and 26 degrees. Muzaffarabad, there will be mainly clear sky, becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Minimum temperature will be 13, maximum 32. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announces fiscally prudent proposals to the tune of 73,000 crore rupees to boost demand. Also announces LTC cash voucher scheme and festival advance for government staff. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh dedicates 44 bridges to the nation located in 7 states and union territories including Jammu and Kashmir and Northeast. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 86.36%. 7 Indian nationals abducted in Ashwa Reef in Libya on 14th of last month released. American economists Paul Milgrom and Robert Wilson jointly win this year's Nobel Prize in Economics. And with that we end the evening news. Good night.